I had something happen the other day that was unexpected. It was a 1/4 inch straight cut quarter shank router bit, and it was over 3/4 of an inch into the collet, and the collet was tight. When I took this bit out of the package, I noticed there were a couple of dull spots on it, and it looked like just a little bit of surface rust. I rubbed it with a piece of steel wool, and then I just ignored it. And not too long after I turned the router on, I made a short cut, and that bit shattered loose from the collet and went through my workpiece and down and drilled a 3/8 of an inch diameter hole in the top of my table saw. This dull area is actually a very slight indentation in the metal. There was no metal there when this shank was ground to diameter, so when the collet tightened in this area, as soon as the bit started to cut, that allowed that collet to release. These flutes are slightly angled to provide a shear cut. When the collet let go, that angle pulled the bit downward. When that bit hit the table, it destroyed those cutting edges and left this nubbin. And that nub is the only thing that prevented this from going any deeper in the table. It left a little bit of a burr on here, so I took a flat file and removed that burr. I'm going to clean that out real good with mineral spirits, maybe a little MEK. And then I'm going to fill that with JB Weld, let it set up, and then file it off flush. Filing the burr off the metal scratched the top up a little bit. And then when I put this JB Weld in here, plastic steel, it got a little more scratched when I filed that off, but it's not too bad. I went back and I sanded it. There's a couple of bubbles that were inside the plastic. I'm just going to ignore those for the time being. I think it's good enough. This is quite smooth, and it won't interfere with the wood going across the table.